graders, it's Wednesday, May 13th, and a very happy birthday to our own EL. We're going to celebrate him today at our Zoom at 10 o'clock. I'm super excited to see his birthday bag, aren't you? So today you're going to have all your specials pages here with, of course, their Google Classrooms as well. On a day like today where we don't have any formal specials planned for the afternoon except for Miss Sorensen at 2:30 with her daily plan, you can always go and make sure that you're fitting in those activities as well. So if you find this afternoon you need a little something before library, go ahead and pop over there to find out what they're up to. Of course, keep going over to the Padlet. So today is an exciting day because you've done it. You finished the entire cursive alphabet. We have gone from A through Z in lowercase and all the way back from A through Z in uppercase. Good for you. It's like learning a new language and you've worked hard and you've practiced for many, many weeks. So today's the last two letters. Watch the R and the B tutorial. They're super quick. And then print out the worksheets for R and B. Post them to your May e-learning slideshow or snap a picture of it and put it on the Seesaw. For today, for ELA, first thing we're going to do is continue our book club talk. Please make sure you're continuing your communication with one another through email or FaceTime or Zoom, however you've been planning, because you should still be on the same book, obviously, and on the same chapters. Let's make sure that communication is still clear. If you need help with anything and gathering each other and getting the line of communication open, I'm always here to help you. So your jots today are done on your book club Padlets. I've included all of the links here for you so that you can click on yours and it'll bring you right to your Padlet. Please make sure you're writing complete sentences, capital letters, periods or question marks, your initials, and the date so I can check in, give you credit, and give you feedback. For ELA, the second part today is a really exciting day because for the first time ever, third graders are going to write fantasy. We actually have never incorporated a fiction unit into our writing, but we thought with this time away from each other, we need a little spice, a little interest. Let's start a fantasy unit. So we know that you have read this genre before and you're so excited to be creative about, dragons and wizards and all of those kinds of fantasy unicorns, all of that stuff. But we're going to follow a bit of a structure to make sure that your piece is done in an organized way with a clear vision and topic. So you're going to take some time today to idea generate. You're going to watch Miss Boyer's quick little lesson with your pencil and notebook ready because you're going to be jotting down questions, wonders, and ideas. So get your pencil ready. Watch Miss Boyer's intro. Go into your writing folder and you'll find the slides, Imaginative Narrative Part 1. That's a fancy way of saying fantasy. So go ahead and find those slides because there's going to be a link to a video that Miss Boyer would like you to watch. Then show us your ideas. Whatever you recorded either during Miss Boyer's video or after, once you kind of sat with it and you started thinking those what if questions or wouldn't it be strange if, sketches, ideas, sentences, short little paragraphs, whatever you've jotted down today after Miss Boyer's lesson, please put it on Seesaw or put it on the e-learning slideshow. We want to see what kind of ideas are brewing inside those genius minds. For math today, we're going to be talking about subtracting from meters. So we're going to be doing some mental math strategies and some other strategies we learned in previous units about mental math. So you will need, again, a pencil and paper to complete this work. So as Miss Luciano speaks and she does demonstrations, you're going to follow along with her to make sure that you understand the strategies. There is just one workbook page today, page 177. There's not a whole lot of room for work on it. There's a margin on the side, but if you need to use scrap paper, of course, always go and do that, just like we would use the whiteboard in class. Then go ahead and transfer your answers into either the slide or the workbook page printout. So it's your choice, as always, how you want to complete the math work for today. Since it's only one page, I have all of these other ways for you to practice and sharpen your math skills. The IXL is going to be practice, and the rest of these are some interesting puzzles to kind of stretch your thinking in math. Today, for social studies, we are switching gears back to analyzing documents and artifacts, and what those things are primary sources. So today, or yesterday, I should say, you started learning about the difference between primary and secondary sources. Today, you're going to go ahead and practice. Can you tell whether something's a primary or secondary source? So you saw the speech, the I Have a Dream speech of Dr. Martin Luther King yesterday. It was a primary source. That was a video. Someone was at that speech taking the video. So remember, was the person telling the account present at the event? Yeah, they were taking the video footage. That was the real footage. So that was a primary source. So here's what you're going to do today. You're going to be practicing your knowledge of primary and secondary sources by watching my video. And then you're going to be going to the primary source task cards. These are going to be put in your social studies folder, or I have them right down here. There's in two places. These are on the slides, and these are if you want to print. So let's go ahead and check that out. So I have them right over here. So when you bring up the task cards, and my lesson's going to explain this all, you're going to have a few different things. One is going to be the recording sheet. So today you're going to be using these cards, 1, 2, 3, and 4, to go ahead and answer if they are A, a primary source, or B, a secondary source. When you have a guess, so like here's number 1. If you guess a memoir, okay, let's look here. A memoir is when a person writes a book or story about events in their own life. So if the person is writing about their own life, do you think that's a primary source or a secondary source? If you think it's a primary source, go back to your task card recording sheet and put A for number 1. And today we're only doing 1 through 16. Then what's super cool about these, if you've noticed, there's a QR code on each of these. So you can take an iPad or an iPhone or some kind of smartphone and you just open up the picture, open up the camera. And when you put the camera over the QR code, a pop-up will come onto your phone that'll say whether the answer is A or B. So what I suggest in my lesson is maybe doing this with a friend. Maybe you go through each one together. Do 1 through 16. Take your best guess. Read carefully. I've actually even underlined for you during the time period. So when something's during the time period, that means that it was at that moment, at that time. Ding, 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 primary source. So go through together and say, let's do number 1 through 16 together. Let's jot it down in our recording sheet. And then let's go ahead and we will check each other's with using the QR code. So go ahead and do that. I think you might have fun doing that with each other. All right, guys. So that's your social studies for today. This is the link to the slides. And this is if you want to do it by printing them out, you've got these two here. However you do it, just make sure that that recording sheet makes it into somewhere we can see it, either in the slideshow or on Seesaw, your choice. So today, like I said, you don't have a special in the afternoon. If you need a little extra something, I put a bunch of mystery Dougs up for you to watch. We loved gathering together at the end of the day after we packed up for a quick 5-minute mystery Doug. And I collected a few that we missed since we've been gone. So go ahead and check out these and maybe tell me which ones you liked. Tell me something new you learned. Smart fact is again about Mozart. In 1767, on this day, he wrote his first opera when he was 11 years old. So pretty much it's like a 6th grader writing an opera. So there's two different movies about him. And so they are called The Book of Henry, Gifted, and Little Man Tate. And they actually are about gifted children who struggle with being so gifted and their desire to just kind of live a normal life as a normal kid. So maybe you might want to watch one of those for your movie night. So by the end of the day, what are you needing to complete? You're going to watch the two cursive tutorials. You're going to print them out and practice the worksheets. You're going to show me somewhere, either on e-learning slides or on Seesaw. For ELA, you're going to do 2 things. First is book clubs. So you're going to read your agreed upon amount, and you're going to record your jots on your Padlet. Then you're going to start the imaginative writing fantasy unit. Watch the intro video, jot down wonders and questions you might have, and then show me your ideas either on the slides or on Seesaw. For math today, you're going to watch your lesson. You're going to complete workbook page 177. And if you need anything extra, I've provided extra IXL and challenge games. For social studies today, you're going to watch the lesson on primary and secondary sources, check your social studies folder for the slides, task cards number 1, and answer cards 1 through 16 and record your answers on the recording sheet. And of course, check your answers using the QR code. Post your recording sheet on Seesaw or the e-learning slides. And optional today is any Mystery Doug videos. So third graders, I will see you at 10 o'clock to celebrate Eli's birthday. And I hope that you have a great morning. If you have any questions, email me or get me on the Padlet. Bye, third graders.